Breaking news. If what I have here is true, that means there is an alleged cold war at the palace of the Oba of Benin between the throne and the crown prince, which is very disappointing. I want you guys to watch this video. We'll come back. I'll read the content of this write-up for you and we'll talk more.
Suddenly, I saw that they co-opted my eldest son into their conspiracy because they felt they would see him as the Crown Prince of Benin. If they see him as the Crown Prince of Benin, that would prove that they are collaborating with the palace. And if they dragged him along with them, they would have succeeded in convincing international donors, particularly Germany, that they are collaborating with the palace. My dear son said that they constituted the Legacy Restoration Trust and they have given him a board seat. I didn't send him there. He looked excited, of course. Poor child. He didn't understand the implications of what he was getting himself into because he didn't remember or didn't care to remember that I've been teaching what I've been teaching him about people. For avoidance of doubt, the German government, Etal, and others who did not even understand our traditions and did not care to come to the source to find out for reasons best known to them, because they were also having interests of their own in the artifacts. They would have found out that the eldest son of the Oba of Benin is not automatically the Crown Prince of Benin, even though our system of succession is based on the principle of primogeniture, until his father, the reigning Oba, pronounced him so and direct him to Uselu to preside over Uselu as the Edake of Uselu. Or until then, he's regarded as just the first prince or senior prince in Benin. They will say, "Oh, no, what?"
So before I will read the content of this statement to you, let me try to do a little briefing on what the Omonoba Nedo said. He visited the government house concerning the controversies of Moa, and he talked about how the Crown Prince Allege was carried along in all of the supposed deception and make him one of the board of the committee in order to sway the Benin bronzes or artifact. And the Omonoba Nedo used that opportunity to explain a little bit of the Benin culture. Because we from Edo State, we have always thought that the first born son of the Omonoba Nedo is automatically the Crown Prince. It does not need any form of other rituals to do to be known as the Crown Prince. But the Omonoba Nedo explained a little bit of our culture. Though Prince Allege is the first son of the Oba, he will need to go through some processes in order to be called the Crown Prince and the one to take over. If I understand that he, as the Omonoba Nedo, will have to send the Crown Prince to Uselu first and receive his blessing, then it will be automatically confirmed on him as the Crown Prince. Aside that, he is only recognized as the Okonohua, which means all the sons of the Omonoba Nedo, they are all Oko. They are all called Oko. So the first son of the Oba is called Oko Nohwa, which is the first son of the Oba. So it's not yet the crown prince or heir to the throne. So he explained a little bit of that culture, because the first day I heard it from the Omonoba Nedo, I was like, this is a little bit new. So I was surprised when I saw this post. And I want to believe, first, that this is not coming from the crown prince of the Kingdom of Benin. I want to believe that the crown prince did not write this statement. First, let me read it. On the top of it is written, the crown prince of Benin Kingdom. Domo Lamogun, that is greeting. Hope you are well. I hope it would never get like this, especially my father addressing in house publicly. I have apologized several times before, but it seems I need to do it again. I am sorry for how I spoke to you. I am your son, and I am only human. You are our father. We all look up to you and love you dearly. So, of course, as our king, you can take crown prince. I go again. He said, so of course, as our king, you can take crown prince. Oko Nohwa, prince, a Daiken of Uselu, and even Eware. But please, Lahore, leave Ezelecha for me, because my grandfather gave me that name. You raised me with morals, values, and integrity. As your son, imperatively, one thing you can always count on me is that I will tell you what others wouldn't tell you, and speak my opinion on issues that others might be too worried to touch on. I use this medium to plead, please handle the current situation on ground with sagacity. Our father is the most fastidious, painstaking, and meticulous individual I know. So I have almost faith in him. I pray for you always. Pray for good health and long life. May God and our ancestors continue to give you wisdom, guide, and protect you always. My love for you is forever, unconditional. Your son, Ezelecha Obagatokbere, he said. Like I said before, if this is actually coming from the crown prince, this is an insult. I am one of those who subscribe to sharing your own opinion. I am one of those who subscribe to you can speak your mind on issues. But I'm also one of those who subscribe to know when to speak, more especially when it concerns parents. Know when to reply, and not just to know when to reply, know how to reply. If the Omonoba Nedo, our royal father, explained a little bit of our culture to us, or even said that the crown prince was almost persuaded to follow the alleged deception to sway the Edo Kingdom from the returned artifact and all. I think that is not enough reason for the crown prince, if he is the one who wrote this, to write all of this that I am seeing here. Most especially when he said, so of course, as our king, you can take crown prince, Okonokwa, prince, a deacon of Isolu, and even Ewari, but please, Lahore, leave Ezemeka for me, because my grandfather gave me that name. I saw this statement like someone who is saying, I don't care about being the crown prince. I don't care about being the deacon of Uselu. I don't care about the Benin people as well. But please, leave the name that my grandfather gave to me. That is how I saw it. Even if you want to show support to your father on issue as concerning the contradiction that is going with Moa, the issue, the internal issue, ought not to be expressed, knowing fully that this is going to come out in the public. You know, this is one of the issues when you entangle politics with tradition. And this also will take me to Obaseki. I have heard Obaseki say several times
that was at the warning. Do not bring tradition into politics. Don't bring traditional institution into politics. Traditional institution, don't let yourself to be dragged into politics. Because once you drag traditional into politics, you will not recognize them again.
That do not include the tradition, the palace of the Oba of Benin into politics. APC, since the arrival of APC campaign for 2024 governorship election, they have consciously dragged the palace into politics, because it is even their youth leader, Tony Kabaka, who was shouting, Obaseki took the palace, dragged the palace to court. He was the one who was shouting, Oriomba and the APC, they all surrounded themselves with that slogan, and they began to run with it, and also beclouded the mind of so many Edo people, to the extent that I think it was the secretary to Obaseki then came out and said, even the matter that they said that Obaseki is taking the palace to court, Obaseki is even in that matter. Obaseki was at the same, just as the palace was taken to court, Obaseki was also dragged to court. He's also a defendant, just as the palace was a defendant in that case. I have always said traditional institutions should not be politicized. And I can tell you categorically that all that we are seeing now is as a result, because what brought this is as a result of the contradiction, the politics that was around Moa. And it's, from my own point of view, is very disappointing. It is good that he expressed his mind, that you know that I am a man, talking about the crown prince now, that I am a man who will always tell you what others will be afraid to tell you. It shows a man who has his own mind. Yes. But I want a prince who wants to show that he has his own mind, to also show that he has respect for his father, who is the king of the kingdom. If you can write such a letter as this to the throne, then what do you expect outsiders to do? What do you expect outsiders to do? If what the Omonoba Nedo said in his speech, you are not pleased with it, did not go down well with you, there are better ways to express yourself. Such, you don't write it on this particular letter. You messed up big time. Maybe you wrote it not expecting for it to go out, but somehow it's out already. It is now for the public consumption. Please, there should be an apology as quick as possible. You have apologized in the letter, yes, but there need to be another apology, strong one, not just to the throne, to your father, to the Edo people. There need to be, because I respect a man who have his own values, who have his own opinion, who will not go down with what they are saying. He has his own mind. He have his own, he have his clarity on matters. I respect that man. But I also want to respect a man who have respect for his father, respect for the throne. There should be respect for the throne. This is not a letter for any Edo, many Edo person to be excited about. I know there are people who are already enemies of the palace, for example, who want to sit on this and say and vomit all kind of nonsense. This is not something to deliberate about. I will not even talk about anything like this before if it's not out in the public. So please, we should not put politics into traditions, and we should not allow what happens inside the kingdom between the family to come out in public space like this. It shouldn't. I saw what I listened to what the Omonoba Nedo said, and I was even planning to do a video before now to explain that, oh, I never knew this kind of, that we have this is the culture, because I have always believed once you are born as the first son of the Oba, you are automatically the crown prince and you become the next Oba. But I never knew that there are processes to it that will automatically sanctify you to be the next Oba. Because with that explanation of the Omonoba Nedo, it's as if the Omonoba Nedo did not send you there or send another person, it's like it can be something that can be given to another person somehow. Yeah, if you look at it, of which I know it will not result to that. But if you want to reply such, or you want to voice out your anger, talking about the crown prince now, there are better ways to this. There are better ways. There are better ways. You people, I have said it before, let us not follow the propaganda of APC. APC, they don't mean anything good. All of this is as a result of how politics have entered into tradition, that the crown prince will be able to hold his phone or whatever means he used to write this and write this. And write this. Just look at. He said, you raise me with morals and values and integrity as your son. Imperatively, one thing you can always count on is that I will tell you what others wouldn't tell you and speak my opinion on issues that others might be too worried to touch on. You can take Crown Prince Okonokwa, Prince, a director of Iselu, even Ewari. You can take his name. As it can take Ewari, in other words, it can take Ewari away from your name. And you are satisfied with Ezelekai. This matter is serious. A matter that can result to this, that the Omonoba Nedo can take his name away from your name. This is a matter that the elders, our fathers, the chiefs in the palace need to settle with wisdom. The crown prince must be called to order. It must be called to order, because we don't need a situation where, by the reason of this statement, we see people who want to trample upon the palace or our royal father, because this can give other miscreant opportunity to rubbish our tradition. Please, this is if truly is coming from the crown prince, this is very disappointing, very, very disappointing. What we expect that the royal household will be the one to raise the ban, not what we are saying now. This is I've been as a certain reader, as in as me they see, before somebody will take his phone or whatever means and write, you can take away the crown prince, which means I'm not interested in being the crown prince. You can take Okonokwa, I'm not interested to be your first son. You can take away a Daikeni Solu, I'm not interested to pass through the process of big crown, the crown prince. Then you can take away Ewari. I'm not even interested to be associated, because when answering the name Ewari is you, please, I'm not even interested to be associated with your name. I'm satisfied with Ezelekai. Or in the name of you want to speak your own mind. You want to have your own mind. You want to have your own mind. If now people advise you when you write this the way you write, those people don't mean well for you, sir. With due respect, my crown prince, if you were persuaded by friends to write this, they don't mean well for you. Or if maybe on your own, you were persuaded to do this on your own, you don't mean well for yourself. With due respect. That is, if you are the one who wrote this, if you are the one who wrote this, there should be an apology, and the chiefs of the palace should call you to order. You can have your own mind, but show respect. You can have your own opinion, but show respect. Your own opinion might even not be right. We must learn also to submit our own opinion, as if we might have our own opinion, but let's listen to the opinion of another. And please, let's not drag politics into this. I can tell you this one is the handwork of APC, because they have dragged the palace into politics. They succeeded in dragging the palace into politics. And it ought not to be. I rest my case.